This week in East Brunswick, the topic on everybody's mind has been what to do with their household garbage during the garbage haulers strike. Channel 8 has kept you up to date with announcements from the Township Administrator on Monday and the Mayor on Tuesday. Today we'll continue with information on how the trash pickup is being conducted by the Public Works crews. We'll rerun the Mayor's announcement, including schedules of trash collection and guidelines on how to get your garbage ready for pickup. East Brunswick Animal Control Officer Mike Mansfield will offer tips on how to keep animals away from your garbage bags. Also this week, we'll learn more about the TLC program at the library from librarian Lee Walling, and on Kids Comments, Ritu Murthy will review The Divorce Express. On Consumer Aware, Mary Tanascio will talk about the store cable rebuild. All coming up on This Week in East Brunswick. But first, let's see what's coming up on Channel 8 next week. Next week's edition of Read Lab will feature library staffers Pat Irons and Sue Keel, plus Sports Talk host John Megliero. Followed by Sports Talk and an interview with sports historian Lenny Furman on the history of the Olympic Games. Also on Tuesday, we'll rerun the special edition of For Art's Sake, featuring Dolly Vasta's interview with Elliot Taubenslag and his award-winning East Brunswick High School production of his play. Then on Wednesday, we'll look at the East Brunswick School System's writing program on Spotlight on Education with Dr. Joseph Sweeney's guest, Rose Kassab. Now here's the Mayor's message on garbage strike, originally cablecast Tuesday evening.
Hello. By now you probably know that the union representing the employees of most of the garbage haulers in central and northern New Jersey has gone on strike. As you probably also know, garbage in East Brunswick is collected under contract by a private contractor, and that contractor employees are on strike also. Until today, the Edgeboro landfill was closed as well, and it appeared as though we would have no way of disposing of garbage if it was collected. The township was successful in obtaining a court order to require Edgeboro to open during its normal hours, and therefore we will begin this week implementing our emergency plan for the collection of garbage in the township. I want to review with you the highlights of that plan so that you'll be able to help us in keeping the garbage problem in the community from becoming overwhelming. The plan essentially is this. Township employees will use township equipment to collect garbage placed at curbside. Now, because we have a limited amount of equipment and a limited amount of staff to do this, we're asking that rather than put the garbage out in the normal way in cans or other containers, that you place garbage at the curb in heavy-duty plastic bags only. And I should emphasize that garbage that is placed at the curb in containers or anything other than heavy-duty plastic bags will not be picked up by the municipal employees when they come by. We will be having once-a-week collection as opposed to the normal twice a week, and that collection will generally occur on the second day of your twice-a-week collection. However, this week, because of the holiday on July 4th, we will be collecting Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. That means that those people whose collection normally is on Monday and Thursday will be collected on Thursday. Those people whose collection is normally on Tuesday and Friday will be collected on Friday, and those people on Wednesday and Saturday on Saturday. Next week, beginning next week, assuming the strike continues, there'll be a little different schedule that will be as follows. Those people whose collection is normally on Wednesday and Saturday will be picked up on Wednesday, which is the first day of your normal collection. And then those people who would be picked up on Monday and Thursday and Tuesday and Friday will be picked up on the second day. That is, the Monday and Thursday pickups will be done on Thursday, and the Tuesday and Friday pickups done on Friday. Now, In addition to asking you to put the garbage out in heavy-duty plastic bags rather than containers, there's an additional rule, which is that during this period we will not pick up any limbs or furniture or large objects, construction debris, or any refuse that is not bagged in heavy-duty plastic bags. In addition to these rules, there are a number of guidelines that I'd like to ask your cooperation in following, because it will help a great deal as we try to meet this crisis. First of all, be creative in handling your garbage. If you can possibly avoid placing material at the curb, please do so. And here are some of the ways that you can do that. You can separate your aluminum cans and glass containers from the normal refuse and take those cans and containers to the recycling center at the Transportation and Commerce Center on Route 18. You can save your newspapers for private newspaper drives or hold them for Township recycling pickup, which is scheduled to begin the last week in July. When you shop and when you prepare food, try to limit the amount of prepackaged foods and containers that you use and purchase, since that just increases the amount of garbage that you have. If you can, refrain from using disposable items such as paper napkins, paper plates, cups, and plastic utensils. If you can delay cutting your lawn, or if you can dispose of the clippings in some other way, please do so. But be aware that burning of plant materials is not an option, since it is illegal in our state and has been for some time. You should not expect to be able to dump your garbage in vacant lots or on roadsides or in the woods. We have instructed the local police township police to be especially vigilant for this, and we will be issuing summonses. And the summonses carry a penalty of a fine of up to $500 and or up to 90 days in jail. So this is a very serious offense, and ask you to observe the law in this instance very carefully. If you plan to use township park facilities for picnicking or other activities, and you're going to generate any waste, please bring along your own disposal containers, and when you leave the park, take them with you, because the collection of waste at the park is also a problem during this time. Those commercial and industrial establishments and apartments that do not receive township pickup are individually responsible for making whatever arrangement they can for disposing of their waste. And finally, we will endeavor to provide the best service we can during this time. I ask you, however, to understand that garbage collection is not something that our employees normally do. They are not as familiar with the various routes as the private contractor, and we don't have the proper equipment, so that it may well be that there may be delays along the way, but please be assured that we're going to do our very best to pick up the garbage in a timely way and make sure that we get to everybody's garbage. If you see your garbage still on the street beyond the time that you think it should be, you know, it is not necessary to complain. We know it's there, and we're going to get to it. We're going to carry out each of the collection routes and pick up all of the material that is properly placed at the curb in heavy-duty plastic bags and take it away and dispose of it properly. But there may well be delays, and I ask for your patience and your cooperation as we try to get through this difficult period.
Again, here's the trash collection schedule for East Brunswick. This applies for the rest of this week only. If your regular collection days are Tuesday and Friday, your garbage will be picked up on Friday. For regular pickup on Wednesday and Saturday, this week only, your trash will be collected on Saturday. If the strike continues into next week, watch Channel 8 or pick up a collection schedule at the library. At the time of this taping, totals were not in on today's Teamsters vote on Governor Kane's proposal to get the haulers back to work during negotiations. Now, an interview with Public Works' Vinnie Corsal, supervisor of today's garbage pickup. So how many crews are you sending out today, Vinnie?
I have 4 crews, and they're trying to pick up as many streets as possible on a regular collection day. And we didn't anticipate any problems with the crews that we have in. And I've got 3 loaders, 2 tandems, 2 5-yarders, and a leaf truck.
Is this all Public Works people?
Public Works in conjunction with a couple of kids from Parks.
Is this going to affect other services in town?
Primarily, no. I still have a water crew that's on some water main services.
You think you're going to be able to keep up with the schedule that's been set for you?
Truthfully, no. There's too many streets for the type of equipment I have.
Are you anticipating any kind of problems with pickup? Any specific things?
No. We're only picking up garbage bags. No problems in that.
Could you run through one more time for the viewers the guidelines that they should follow when putting out their garbage?
Well, they should put them in plastic bags, tie them, and put them at the curbside on their respective collection date. And we'll be out Thursday, Friday, and possibly Saturday.
And again, what aren't you going to be picking up?
No loose refuse in cans, no boxes, no concrete, and whatever.
Okay. I see you have a police escort coming in and anything, and going into Edgeboro. Are you anticipating any problems here?
Well, we were anticipating some, but we didn't encounter anything. And with the governor's help in negotiating to get the mediator down there and the management and the union officials to sit down and talk, and there's a possibility that the drivers will be back shortly.
Well, I hope you're right about that.
I hope so, too.
Now here's East Brunswick Animal Control Officer Mike Mansfield to let you know how to keep animals out of your garbage.
How do you do? I'm Special Officer Mike Mansfield, East Brunswick Police Department. Because of the garbage strike we're having, we thought we'd give you a few helpful hints how to control insects and odors and other little critters from going in your garbage. I have a few things here I'm going to show you you can do in your house, in your garbage cans in your house. If you use plastic bags to put your garbage out with, I would advise you to put mothballs into your garbage bag at the bottom. Put in quite a few mothballs, not just a few. The purpose of the mothballs will be to create an odor which will keep all the critters out, all insects and all little critters from going near and ripping open the garbage bags. Once you put the mothballs in, it would also be advisable just before you seal it to throw lime on it. If you throw a little lime on and then seal it, the lime helps to kill the bacteria that will cause odors that could develop inside the bag. If you use large garbage cans, if you use large garbage cans and put your garbage out in them, then what you would do is take pulverized lime, works better than granulated lime, and sprinkle it all around the edges. It will stick to the material, it'll stick to the sides of the garbage can, and that'll help keep down the odors. And again, you also put mothballs in again. Cover the whole bottom with mothballs. Very prevalently, put lots and lots and lots of mothballs inside and the bottom of the garbage can, and plenty of lime. The mothballs keep away the odor from the mothballs keeps away the raccoons and all the little mice and little critters that might want to start digging in. Once they smell the mothballs, they'll leave. A lot of bacteria will grow with the moisture and dampness in there, and the lime will absorb some of the moisture, and it kills the bacteria before it can start to grow. These things are good to do at any time when you have your garbage. Now, if you have dumpsters, I would advise people who have dumpsters to use at least a bag of pulverized lime and cover all of the edges and sides of the dumpster and the whole bottom. Then put your garbage in, and then periodically, as it's filling up, you would continue throwing lime over the top, probably needing 2 or 3 bags of lime in all. If you find that you have to store your garbage for quite a while, I would advise you to separate your cans and plastics into separate garbage cans from the garbage bags and trash containers with the food sources. And then, at the same time, you could sprinkle lime over everything. Just put it very well over everything. That'll keep the flies from developing and gathering around the corner of your home. Remember, if you have any animal control questions or any problems, you can reach me at the East Brunswick Police Department at 390-6960. Please leash, love, and license your pets.
The TLC program here at the library has given teenage kids around town something to do during the summer months for several years now. If you visit the library, you'll notice the TLC participants in their bright green t-shirts working in just about every phase of library operations. Orientation is conducted by coordinators Kim Kirk and Lee Walling. In a recent interview, I asked Lee what the initials TLC stand for.
TLC means Teen Library Corps. Of course, it has another connotation, which is tender loving care, and we sort of chose that acronym because we didn't know what the program would had in the future for us, so we thought we'd approach it with tender loving care.
So these are teens working in the library. How did the program begin?
Back in 1980, a mother called us and asked if there was a program specifically for young teens in the library. Her daughter was hanging around the library and usually up to no good, and I think there might have been a complaint about her daughter's behavior, and her mother figured since she spent so much time in the library, maybe we could do something for her. And the director had started thinking about it and asked the administrative staff to come up with some ideas and a set program to accommodate young teens.
So this grew into a whole program based around this.
And from the first year on, it was very successful, very popular. I think some of the time the parents make the kids come to the program, but by now more of the kids want to be in the program than...
They come on their own.
Right.
Who sponsors it?
The program is sponsored by the Friends of the Library. They pay for the coordinator's salary. They provide refreshments and whatever goes along with the program. And now they also provide a T-shirt. This is this year's T-shirt. The logo has changed a little from the past 4 years. But the T-shirts we ask the kids to wear as often as they can during the summer. This helps the staff identify them as participants of the program and the public as well.
What types of jobs will they be doing?
Some of the jobs that they've done in the past and some of the things that are on tap for this year would be working in the children's department with the puppet shows, maybe doing story time on cable, commercials on cable, shifting books. There are a wide variety of things depending on what each department has to do. Labeling books for the beach, labeling paperback books, doing paperback displays and things like that.
Besides the T-shirts that they get, what else do you think they get out of the
Well, one of the benefits that has come out of this program is that a participant of TLC, someone that's finished the program, has an edge over another kid when it comes time to being hired as a library page. It's good work experience for them. We've also had to write recommendations for Honor Society applications and other things like that. So it's a good reference source.
And some of them do go on to work here then?
Right. So we have hired about 7 kids in the past. In fact, one of our TLC graduate has completed his first year of college already. So it's grown.
Great. How about other things that they might gain? Social aspects, things of that nature.
Right. Okay. The social aspect is something that I hope I don't overlook. We do provide an atmosphere for kids to get together of their own age with other kids that may go to private school, go to another school in town. We schedule the video cassette recorder for them to watch movies. We have The Empire Strikes Back for them to see a private screening this July.
That's great.
Which should be nice. The microcomputers are scheduled for their use, so hopefully they'll be teaching those kids who know how to work on computers will be teaching those who don't, and then they can be playing games or whatever they want on the thing. We have a pizza party at the end. This is all very traditional kinds of stuff that we've been doing for the last 5 years at work.
Well, it all sounds very interesting. For someone who might want to join this year, is there still room?
I'm afraid all our sessions are booked, including the August session. The morning sessions are more popular. We do have a few openings in the July afternoon session, but I would ask that it would be a repeater who's already gone through the program before that calls me if they're interested in the afternoon July session, which runs from 1:30 to 4. And that session has started already, but we'll take someone that's been in the program before.
Okay, well, for someone who likes to plan ahead then, for maybe next year, what are the requirements for the program?
Well, the requirements are pretty simple. You have to be a township resident and between the ages of 13 and 15. For next year, we'll probably start the process a little bit earlier than we did this year. And what I do is have the schools announce that the applications are available at their school library. They're also available here at the public library, and usually something gets in the paper about that, and they can pick up an application. There's usually some time in between the time the applications are available to the time that they have to sign up. So the first day of sign up, we get quite a few people who know from the past that sessions do fill up rather quickly, especially for their first choice. So there'll be plenty of publicity ahead of time.
Okay, well, thanks very much, Lee. We've been talking to Lee Walling about the TLC program here at the library. Now for a look at what some other kids are doing with us here at Channel 8, let's join Kids' Comments.
The Divorce Express by Paula Danziger. In Paula Danziger's The Divorce Express, Phoebe has to adjust to the hectic routine of spending weekdays with her dad in Woodstock and spending weekends with her mother in New York City. Commuting between Woodstock and New York, she rides the Divorce Express, a bus full of children with divorced parents. In Woodstock or New York City, Phoebe finds getting involved with things next to impossible. But when she meets Rosie, another Divorce Express regular, things start to turn around. Then the news of her mother remarrying comes up. Will she ever win? The Divorce Express was a nicely written book with an interesting title and cover. The friends of mine who read it enjoyed it tremendously. Never could be better.
Hello, and welcome once again to Consumer Aware. I'm Mary Tenaccio from your local Consumer Affairs office. Today, I would like to take the opportunity to discuss with you the new rebuild of Stora Communications, which is our local cable TV system. Now, many of you know that for the last couple of years, we have been trying to get a new system in. Stora has had problems in the past, but now there has been a contractor hired, and in many cases and in many places, construction has already started. There are problems and there are concerns and there are many questions that come into us from our residents. And what I'm going to try to do today is to explain to you exactly what the procedure is. Of course, if you do have any questions, you can still call us. The construction, as I said, has already started. It is an underground construction with underground wiring. The cable TV system is a public utility and has the right to be in the right-of-way or the easement part of your property. Now, some people have a problem with this. They feel they maintain it, that they pay taxes on it, and that no one has a right to come through and dig it up. But they do have the right. Our concern is that they get the information to the resident that they are coming through their area. Now, supposedly, there is a letter that you should receive from the Stora people explaining exactly what's going to happen to your property the next day. All right. After that happens, they will come through. You will see their equipment. They will be digging through your property, sometimes on the swale area, which is the area between the sidewalk and the curb. Most cases, that's where most of the digging will be. However, there will be boxes that will be put on the grass area of your property, which is on your lawn side of the sidewalk. They will be about 16 inches high. They do have a right to be there, and that's where the boxes must be placed because that's the storage for the equipment and for all the different connections of the cable going into the different homes. There is a restoration policy on file with the township, and all properties are to be restored to the way it was when the construction company came through. If there are any problems or damages done, they will be taken care of within 24 hours. The complaint procedure is as follows. There is a foreman on the job that has to be with every crew. If there is any problem or any complaint, if you have any questions, concerns, or things aren't going the way you think they should be, you call the Consumer Affairs Office. We are the complaint office. We will then go right out to your property, contact Stora, have the foreman there, and settle the problem right then and there. You know that our hours are only from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. physically in the office. We have an answering service, and both Adrian Eisner and myself have a beeper that we can monitor the calls from home even after 5 o'clock at night. So if you have a problem, call the office. If you don't get us, please leave your name and telephone number on our answering machine. We will be monitoring those calls. Thanks so much, and remember, if you have any questions or concerns on the construction, give us a call. And see you again next week.
We here at Channel 8 would like to congratulate both Mary Tenascio, who recently became Personnel Manager of East Brunswick Township, and Adrian Eisner, who's now the full-time Director of the Consumer Affairs Office. The help they've given us here at Channel 8 is beyond measure. Well, that's all for this week. Thanks for watching.